Hello there to all the viewers. I'm glad you're here with us today on Glass with a Class. I'm June Anderson. I love depression glass, and that's what these videos are usually about. But today, I hope you'll forgive me if I chase a rabbit. At the end, we'll have a brief English lesson and see what we can learn. The rabbit we're going to chase is Anchor Hocking's Forest Green line of glass, and it was manufactured in the 1950s and 60s. So it's technically not depression glass, but it's beautiful, and because this episode is being aired just before Christmas, I thought we'd talk about Christmas colors, and forest green fits right in. You know, there are lots of colors that people use for Christmas decorations and Christmas clothing and everything else Christmas, like gold and silver and white, and some people even throw in a little black to be dramatic. Over the past several years, people have gotten on a lime green kick at Christmas. Some use blue, some throw in a little pink. Really, you see just about any color used in some way at Christmas. But the traditional red and green are just my favorites. I'm sort of a traditional girl, and maybe that shows in the fact that I like old glass. Well, here's some old glass that was my mother's. A couple of forest green vases. And I think they would look great at Christmas alongside red dinnerware and maybe a bowl of gold ball ornaments. They're called crimp top vases. And you can see why it's called a crimp top vase. Here's another forest green vase. It's a little different with its odd shape, but believe it or not, it's called a plain vase. And I can't remember where I got that one. I don't think it was my mother's, but I like it. Here's another little vase, a sweet little vase that was my mother's. It's called a bud vase. I bet you thought bud vases were tall and skinny, didn't you? Well, apparently not. It's tiny, but it would be lovely holding some mistletoe or other flowers sitting on a table in your home. Careful with the mistletoe. I hear it can be poisonous. But what do I know? This is about glass, not plants. Your florist may have some extra flowers that maybe got broken, and they can't use them because they're too short. Well, I bet they wouldn't be too short for this little sweetie. And I bet your florist would let you have them for a song. Anchor Hocking didn't just make vases in the forest green. They made bowls, ashtrays, pitchers, glasses, and lots of other things. Lots of other different pieces. I think the green is very striking and is one of my favorite kinds of glass, although it's not depression glass, which is my favorite kind of glass. The information on forest green today came from Philip Hopper's book, Forest Green Glass, copyright 2000. Well, let's look at our English mini lesson today. We're going to talk about capitalization. Sometimes you have people like the writer E.E. Cummings, who apparently didn't care for capital letters much. He wasn't even keen on capitalizing his own name. Then you have people who think that almost every other word should be capitalized. Well, not really, but there are folks who take it to the extreme. For instance, if you text or write a note to someone and tell them you're putting up your Christmas tree, this is how you would write it. I'm putting up my Christmas tree. Some people think it's so special, though, that they write this. I'm putting up my Christmas tree. Capitalizing tree when it doesn't need to be. On the other hand, if you write or text them and tell them you're ordering some china from a company in their Christmas tree pattern, you would write it like this. I'm ordering some china from Hoop-de-Doo China Company in their Christmas tree pattern. Christmas tree is the name of a particular pattern that this company makes, so you capitalize both words. And you also capitalize the China Company's name. Official names are capitalized. When a phrase or word is the actual name of something, it's capitalized. If you're referring to your car, you would say, I'm going to my car. You wouldn't say, I'm going to my car with a capital C. Now, if you're going to say the name of your car, you would capitalize it. For instance, I'm going to my Range Rover. No, I don't have a Range Rover, but I thought it would be fun to use the name. Rules for capitalization could go on and on, but we don't have time for that here. Well, there are all sorts of capitalized words in the Bible, but here's a pretty important one. It's from Matthew chapter 1, verse 21, which says, "She will bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins." And that's what we celebrated this Christmas season, the birth of the Savior. May your Christmas be wonderful and your new year happy. See you next time. Bye-bye.